Hi folks, I'm attorney Richard LaGarde, and I'm back with part 4 of our 7-part series of tips on how to give a great deposition. These are tips that I've given to my own clients over the past 30 years. Now, because each deposition and every case is different, it's important that you discuss these tips with your own attorney before you give your deposition. So if you're ready, let's get started. Here's tip 31. Don't be a mind reader. A lot of people think that they're clairvoyant, but the deposition is not the time and place to learn how to be a mind reader. If you're asked a question about what someone else thought or what someone else felt, here's what I tell my clients. You're not a mind reader. You can't answer that question. Now, if you're asked if you heard someone say how they felt, or if you heard someone say what they were thinking, then you can answer that question. But again, don't be a mind reader. Here's tip 32. Pay close attention to the questions. It's important for you to focus and maintain your concentration on these questions. And if you're tired or you're losing your focus or losing your concentration, you really need to take a break. Here's one example of what's happened to one of my clients. I had a client once who began answering questions very hurriedly, and he wasn't really thinking about his answers. He was giving wrong answers. And I tapped him on the shoulder and said, "What's wrong?" And he said, "I need to go to the bathroom." I said, "Just ask for a break. I'd rather have you take a break. If you need a coffee break, if you just need to regain your composure, regain your focus, take a break." That's what I tell my clients. Here's tip 33. If your attorney objects to the question, pause and listen carefully to his objection. Here's why. Oftentimes, the other attorney will ask you a question that's not proper. He or she might ask you what you and your lawyer talked about, and he's not entitled to that information. So if your lawyer jumps in and objects, just stop talking and wait to hear what his objection is. And oftentimes, your attorney will be sending you a signal through his objection. He or she might say something like, "Wait a minute, you're asking this witness to speculate." In some states you can do that. Other states don't allow you to make that kind of an objection. But if your attorney makes that kind of objection, listen closely because your attorney may be sending you a message. Here's tip 34. If your attorney objects to the question, wait for his or her instructions. And what I mean by that is I always tell my clients, look, if I'm objecting to the question, I don't want you to jump in and give an answer anyway. Wait for me to say, hey, it's okay to answer the question. Here's tip 35. If your attorney instructs you not to answer, don't answer the question. And here's why. Sometimes questions are not proper, and your attorney might say, don't answer that. Listen to your attorney's instructions. Don't answer the question. Here's tip 36. Be calm, don't get angry. Here's what often happens at depositions. The attorney may be pushing your buttons to see how you're going to react at trial. And the attorney may be testing you to see whether you're going to get angry and blurt something out, or you're going to get angry and lose your cool in front of the jury or the judge. So be calm, never get angry with the other attorney. Here's tip 37. Never argue with the opposing attorney. Look, lawyers get paid to argue, and you don't want to pick your deposition as a time to get into a debate with somebody about the facts. Don't argue with the other attorney. You're likely to say something you wish you hadn't said. Here's tip 38. Be serious. Don't tell jokes. Now, I've seen so many witnesses fall into the mistake of thinking that they'll lighten the mood in the room by telling a joke on the record. And believe me, jokes don't always translate well. Sometimes jurors might be offended by your joke. So don't make that mistake. Don't tell jokes. Be serious. Here's tip 39. Don't interrupt the other attorney's question. The reason I say that is sometimes my witnesses have felt like they knew where the attorney was going, they knew what he was asking or she was asking, and they jump in and give the answer before the attorney has finished their question. And that just wastes time because the attorney inevitably is going to say, wait a minute, wait for me to finish my question before you answer, and they ask their question all over again. Don't make that mistake. Wait for the attorney to finish his or her question before you answer. Here's tip 40. Pause and think about the question before you start your answer. Now, I'm being a little redundant here. You may have heard me give this tip in prior videos, but it's important for you to pause and think about what's being asked of you and answer only that question in the fewest possible words in a truthful manner and then stop talking. So remember, if a question is asked of you, pause, think about what was asked, and only then should you answer. Well, folks, That's it for now. More tips on how to give a great deposition are available at our website. Thanks for watching. See you next time.